Whenever you move onto a college campus, you always have that hard time of understanding where things are at, how to adapt to the environment. Well, I have with me today Dr. Bethany Scullin, who is currently writing a book about how college freshmen can get the help that they need and to understand the resources that they have whenever they come into a university. So thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And so to start things off, whenever you decided to write this book, was it just geared towards college freshmen, or was it for transferring students as well?
Initially, well, actually it is for freshman students primarily. Transfer students might find it helpful, but it is about the first year, how to navigate a university or college in an academic sense and also a social sense as well. So right now it's primarily just for freshmen, their first year.
How did you come up with the idea? I mean, as I have been a student in your classroom, I know how you love to give advice, and
Is that a good or bad
thing? No, it's a great thing. I enjoy your advice, and I just thought about why write the book? Why?
So when I started teaching this course, it's called SEDU 102, College Reading and Study Skills. The textbook was very inadequate. It focused on grammar skills and how do we write sentences, and it was just it didn't suffice as a textbook in that course. It didn't meet the need. So as I started looking for other textbooks to include in the course, primarily one would focus on the academic standpoint of this is how we take notes, this is how we manage our time, this is how we study. And then there wasn't much on the social aspect of college. So when you go to college, your first year off, away from high school, it is so much more than just knowing how to study and knowing how to manage your time. So as I was looking for things, there wasn't any. So I began pulling from different things, resource journals, different videos, and I was thinking, I wish all of this was in one place for the students to access. So that's where my idea kind of began.
What are some of the academic topics and social skills topics that you're going to be talking about in your book?
So the academic perspective is knowing your learning style and using your learning style to your advantage. How to read a textbook. It's very different. I get a lot of comments from freshmen of, well, I've never read a textbook before. We went through high school and all we did was take notes, and well, that's not the case here. You have to read a textbook. So it also delves into those traditional things that are in a study skills textbook, but it also goes into the whole, how do we navigate socially in this environment? How do we adapt to the different culture? How do we take ownership of ourselves when previously it was you're living in your parents' house, you have your brothers and your sisters and all your friends. Well, now it's different. It's all about you. And how do you navigate that? So it's a big change in how you perceive yourself as well.
And I understand that you have some former students that are willing to help you with this book as well. What are some of the ideas that popped into their heads that are helping you out?
Well, first, to kind of give you a background on this, I just completed, not just, about a year ago, defended my dissertation. And it was looking at public school curriculum and including the student's voice in that curriculum. So while I was thinking about this idea and creating this book and writing this book, I thought, why shouldn't I include their voice in it? I graduated 15 years ago from undergraduate. Do I really know what's going on in a freshman's mind and navigating that? So I put out a mass email to all my former students, and I got quite a bit of response back, which was very, very helpful. And through those responses, I looked for themes of what students thought that they needed that I didn't cover, but looking back, they said, oh, I really wish I would have known this. It would have made my life a lot easier. So some of the topics that came up were how to be open-minded. So you come from high school, you're used to thinking one way in a sense and having one group of friends. When you come to college, you're around different races, different religions, different age groups, and just being open-minded about talking with other people and accepting other ideas and considering other ideas, and that you're not right all the time. So that was one of the huge topics that I wanted to touch on that they brought to light. Another one was kind of the down and dirty about college, the social life of it, and having roommates that are doing drugs or aren't there. How do we deal with this? So the things that I wouldn't have thought about are very prevalent in freshman thinking. So I wanted to bring that forward and talk about how to navigate that.
I know a lot of, whenever I came in as a freshman, a lot of people came to me and like, I don't like my roommate, like I don't know how to deal with my roommate. And I was like, okay, like, I mean, I can try to help you out with it, but yeah, that would be one of the greatest
and
topics.
I had a great roommate who I didn't know, so I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And just considering student perspective of what things are important to them now.
What is the company that you're publishing through?
Okay, I am publishing with a fairly new company. It was developed about 20 years ago, and it's called Cognella. And they have been an amazing, amazing support system through this process because this is my first book. I had no idea what to do. So I have had a project editor, a content editor, a personal librarian that works with me. So the support has been amazing, maybe compared to a larger publishing company.
I think the smaller publishing companies have that feel of getting your book out there, getting it known, and willing to help you out than a larger publishing company who's just like, I just want to look at the content. Have there been any challenges that you faced so far with writing the book or with the publishing company? Or?
Well, just knowing everyone's role and who to go to for help. And I'm not the type of person who asks for help very often, so I've had to learn to do that.
Yeah.
And basically acknowledge I don't know everything in the writing world. And one of the amazing things is their ability to work with me on this book. One of my focuses was to keep the costs down. You know, textbooks here are $100, $200. I wanted to be very affordable for them. So they have worked with me of not binding the first edition, but putting it in, so we can insert in a 3-ring binder to keep the cost down. And to also have an audio version of the book. So people with some reading disabilities can also access the content as well. So anything that has come across, they are willing to work with me.
Great. When will students be able to use your book in the classroom?
So the tentative publishing date is August 1st, 2016. So it'll be ready to use and access right away on opening day of class in fall 2016.
That'd be great. And well, you've heard it from Dr. Scullin and everybody who is a freshman. Hopefully, even if you don't take her classes, pick up a copy of her book and see what other topics that you can come across to help you out and adapt into the campus university environment. For ETV, I'm Leslie Shaeffer.